You're about to order that country classic chicken, but here's the part the menu leaves out: it may be pre-breaded, par-fried, and sitting for weeks before it hits your plate. And that fresh beef burger you saw in a TV spot? We found locations where meat sits in coolers for days, then gets reheated on the same tired surface. Let's start with the two biggest nostalgia traps, and then I'll show you 5 chains that prove transparency and fresh prep still exist, so you keep the comfort and ditch the risk. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video. That cozy dining room glow hides a cold reality: meat that was cooked long before you showed up. Let's start with the claim. Some nostalgia-first chains lean on industrial tricks while selling a handmade story. The props say grandma's stove. The system says factory line. Pre-breaded, par-fried, batch-cooked, then held under heat lamps so long the clock does the cooking. Take Cracker Barrel. Pre-prepared for weeks means this in supply chain terms: proteins get cut and breaded at a central plant, par-fried to set the crust, frozen, shipped, and rethermed. That par-fry locks in oil, not freshness.
Cracker Barrel is sticking with its Southern comfort roots, scrapping new design plans and announcing the old country store look is here to stay. Announcing Tuesday it was suspending all remodels after swift online backlash from customers.
Become sort of a symbol of this old-time Americana.
Cracker Barrel tested a more modern and bright design at 4 of its 660 locations, but quickly found customers preferred nostalgia over a modern new look.
After a long hold, the crust goes from crisp to soft, the steam melts the coating, and you get that odd squeak when you bite. Fries pick up a stale fryer note, because old oil loves sponge-like coatings. It looks golden. It eats tired. Now the safety piece. Meat has a narrow temperature window. Cool too slow or hold too cool and you sit in the danger zone where bacteria thrive. Health inspections often flag the same patterns: improper hot holding, sloppy cold storage, cross-contamination from shared tongs and boards. You do not need a headline to see the risk. You just need a thermometer and a log that is actually filled out. IHOP sells fresh beef vibes, but store-level reality often means frozen patties or pre-cooked proteins that get reheated on a loaded, undercleaned griddle.
Backlash prompting Cracker Barrel to release a new statement saying, "You've shared your voices in recent weeks, not just on our logo but also on our restaurants. If your restaurant hasn't been remodeled, you don't need to worry. It won't be."
Where do things stand as a whole with the restaurant industry, particularly these longtime chains that have been struggling?
Yeah, I think that a lot of these efforts to sort of revitalize and reignite some of these older brands have been successful.
Just 2 years ago, Cracker Barrel brought in CEO Julie Massino to refresh the brand. But the struggle to lure new customers and keep nostalgia alive is a shared one.
That flattens flavor and drives off surface moisture, so the meat steams instead of sears. The color turns gray, like a sweatshirt after too many washes. Bacon and sausage that arrive pre-cooked reheat fast, but the bite goes rubbery and the fat tastes cooked twice. Repeated reheats wring out moisture, toughen proteins, and oxidize color. Health codes require tight time and temp logs for this exact reason. Many sites struggle to keep those logs accurate during rushes, and quality drops first. Learn the tells. Perfectly uniform edges. Spongy bite. Weeping liquid. Same texture top to bottom. A flat, stale fryer smell. If you still go, order around the risk. Skip long-hold fried chicken and batch beef at Cracker Barrel. At IHOP, stick to pancakes and short-order eggs. The real kicker: some chains show their prep and keep meat moving fast. What happens when a chain lets you watch the line and backs it up with steady delivery and cook-to-order timing? You stop gambling with gray meat and start getting meat that eats like meat. Let's start with the solve. Pick places that expose their process. Open kitchens. Frequent deliveries. Cutting or carving in-house so the clock starts later and the plate hits your table faster. P.F. Chang's shows the model. The wok line is right there, hot and loud, with hand-cut proteins and USDA choice-level beef. Stir-fry is fast by design, so juices stay in and the food spends less time in the danger zone. That flash heat gives you a sear without drying the center. Now let's move on to the Cheesecake Factory. Huge menu, but the meats land by routine deliveries and cook to order, not scoop and serve. Thick cuts like steaks and chops hit the grill when you ask, which means the crust forms on your plate, not under a heat lamp. Buffalo Wild Wings keeps it tighter. They focus on chicken, so turnover is high and holding windows are short. No pre-breading marathons, no par-cook shuffle. The result is crisp skin, cleaner oil flavor, and a bite that still tastes like chicken, not fryer fatigue. Brazilian steakhouses run a different playbook. Continuous carving, open fire, and controlled doneness with constant rotation. When throughput stays high, the next slice is hot off the flame, with a salt-forward crust and consistent centers across the board. Then there's Maggiano's Little Italy. Family style, fresh proteins, breaded in-house. Same-day braise beats a days-old reheat because connective tissue relaxes once, not twice. You get depth from the pot, not sludge from a steam table. Here's the research-backed piece. Frequent delivery and in-house cutting shorten the time meat sits. Visible lines raise the odds that temperature logs stay honest. Hot, direct sear kicks off the Maillard reaction, then carryover heat finishes gently, so texture stays tender and juices don't gush out like a squeezed sponge. Your simple list: go where meat moves fast, prep is visible, and staff can answer hold time and sourcing questions without dodging. So what is the takeaway? Nostalgia is decor, transparency is policy. Choose the policy. Charm is set dressing. What protects you is turnover, time, and temperature. Fast movement, short holds, correct heat. That is the shield between you and limp, gray meat. Think of it like rush hour traffic. When cars keep moving, you get there safe. When they stall, risk piles up. You control more than you think. Ask how the meat is prepped. Watch the line. Scan reviews for meat complaints. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like and subscribe, and drop the chain you trust, or avoid, in the comments. Keep the comfort, ditch the risk. Pick places that show their work and keep meat moving.